It began with the screech of tires and a blinding flash of red and blue in her rearview mirror. Maya Johnson's grip tightened on the steering wheel as a patrol car swerved in front of her, forcing her to a stop. The humid night air clung to her skin as a tall officer strode toward her. His eyes were narrow, his voice cold and sharp. "You fit the description." He tossed a crumpled photograph onto her hood, a grainy shot of a woman snatching a purse. Same skin tone, but the face wasn't hers. Not even close. Before I tell you what happened next, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I always love seeing who's listening. Maya's pulse pounded in her ears. She recognized him instantly. Officer Brent Carver. The same man who had harassed her months earlier. The kind of cop who only smiled when someone else was in pain. She told herself, stay calm, keep steady. But tonight, there was something different in his eyes. He moved quickly, too quickly, as he searched her car. Then, with practiced ease, his hand disappeared into his jacket and emerged holding a small plastic bag of white powder. Her stomach dropped. "Looks like we've got ourselves a drug charge," Carver smirked. "That's a felony." The quiet street was no longer silent. Curtains shifted, doors creaked open. Neighbors stepped onto porches, murmuring to one another. She could feel their eyes on her. The judgment, the silent verdict. Guilty. Carver thought he had her cornered. What he didn't know was that Maya Johnson wasn't just a random woman heading home. She was a deep-cover FBI agent, embedded to investigate corruption in local law enforcement. And tonight, Carver had just planted the final piece of evidence she needed. But she didn't break cover. Not yet. She played her part, quiet, shaken, letting him dig his own grave. He yanked open her door and ordered her out, his voice loud enough for the crowd to hear every accusation. Caught red-handed, another one off the streets. But the moment his hand clamped on her arm, her voice cut through the humid air. Calm, unwavering. "Officer Carver, remove your hand from a federal agent." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Someone dropped their phone. Carver blinked, then laughed nervously. "Yeah, right." Maya reached into her jacket, slow, deliberate, and pulled out her badge. Gold flashed under the streetlight, catching his eyes for just a second. "Special Agent Maya Johnson, you're under investigation for corruption, falsifying evidence, and civil rights violations." The street fell silent. Even the crickets stopped. From the corner of her vision, Maya saw movement. 2 unmarked SUVs gliding up to the curb. Doors opened in unison. Tactical agents poured out, surrounding them in seconds. The lead agent stepped forward. "Officer Brent Carver, you're under arrest." Carver's face drained of color. Neighbors who had been ready to believe the worst now stood frozen. Some relieved, some ashamed. One elderly woman crossed her arms and muttered, "About time." As they led Carver away in cuffs, his smirk replaced by a hollow stare, Maya felt the weight in the air shift. The same crowd that had doubted her now looked at her differently, with respect, maybe even gratitude. She didn't gloat. That wasn't why she did this job. She simply nodded at them, then returned to her car. Another case closed. Another small piece of justice in a world that still desperately needed it. Because the truth doesn't vanish. It waits. And when the moment is right, it breaks free. If you enjoyed this twist of justice, share it with someone who loves real-life-inspired stories. And don't forget to subscribe for more tales from Truth Untwists. Stories that stay with you long after they end.